Hey guys, welcome back for another cooking video. Today we're making a delicious, easy, little expensive, but delicious and worth it shrimp bisque from scratch, including making the stock. Now you can do this cheaper if you want to just buy some seafood stock, some fish stock. Won't be exactly the same, but if you do it right, it can be very cost effective. I'm gonna make meals for about $6. Now, the tip is buy the shrimp when it's on sale. I got 6 pounds of fresh shrimp here from Publix. It has to be shell on. So if you go to Walmart or whatever, you're probably not going to find this because if you get it frozen, it's all peeled and we need the shells. Ideally, it would be whole shrimp with the heads, but I can't even find that at Publix. So I got this for $3 off a pound, almost 6 pounds of it. That's going to be perfect. Got 2 fresh baguettes here. Any kind of crusty bread, that's going to go really well with it. We are going to use a little bit of olive oil and most of this quart of heavy cream, some kosher salt, some whole black peppercorns, a little bit of flour, some turmeric, some bay leaves, salt and pepper to taste in the soup. Got some green onions here. That's going to be both for the soup and garnish. We're going to go through 1 small bag of carrots, 1 bundle of celery, 1 stick of butter. Oh, and 4 bulbs of garlic. Let's go. So the first thing to do, and this is most of the work, is just peel the shrimp. Put the shells in 1 container, shrimp in another. I have 2 puppy helpers that like the smell of shrimp. And there we go. Now, as good as the shrimp is, these shells, these are your ticket to Flavor Town right here. So we're going to heat up a little olive oil, just enough to cover the stock pot, and then we're going to saute these for 5-10 minutes just to drive out all the moisture and get some flavor going. Oh man, does that smell good? As soon as they hit the heat, they just give off that delicious smell. Now, as soon as you see them all nice and pink and you don't see any more water sizzling down at the end, just takes a few minutes. You're going to put in about 20 cups of water. And use good water, anything filtered, something out of the fridge. That's all good. Just don't use tap. Go ahead and wash your carrots and celery. You'll see all that steam releasing from the shells. Oh, God, it smells even better. All right, now the steam's petering out, and you can hear it start to really sound dry. So in goes the water. Kick it up to high, and we're going to bring it to a full boil. Take half your celery, chop it nice and thick, throw that in the water. Chop the rest of it real nice and thin for the bisque. Set it aside. Same with your carrots, half of them chunked right into the water, and the rest nice and thin. Set that aside with your celery for the bisque. Now take 3 of the bulbs of garlic, and we're just going to cut off the top to expose all the garlic itself, and into the water. We're going to take each of our onions, take off just the first outer layer, the loose layer like this. Might have your stickers and dirt on it and stuff like that, and then give each one a quick wash, and then just quarter each one into big chunks. And into the water. A couple teaspoons of turmeric. Good tablespoon or so of whole black peppercorns. I got 4 or 5 whole bay leaves worth here. A couple teaspoons of kosher salt. Finally, give it a good mix. As soon as this comes up to a full boil, we're going to kick it all the way down to low and just let it sit there for an hour, stirring it every 15 minutes or so. It's funny, when I was a kid, I used to think all the little peppercorns were the shrimp eyeballs. Oh, let me tell you what, it legit smells like a restaurant in here. All right, this is done. Kill the heat. Let it cool for a little bit here. And we're going to strain out all the bits and get out that liquid gold. That's our soup base. So I got most of it out just by scooping. Now we can trash all of this, and then we're gonna run the liquid through the strainer just to make sure there's nothing left in it. And there's our liquid gold. All right, that's ready to go. And then clean out the rest of whatever's in the pot, and we're gonna make our soup. Melt your stick of butter. Wash and trim your green onions, get rid of any yucky stems, and we're just gonna be using from the light green up, trim off the ends here, trim off all the white, 2 of the bunches are going to go in the soup. Reserve 1 for garnish. Add this to the celery and carrots. And saute all of that for 5-10 minutes until everything is nice and tender over medium heat. Almost there. The butter should be nice and brown. As soon as the carrots are tender, not quite there yet, we'll be ready for the garlic. Smash and mince up your last garlic bulb, and then give that a cook for at least a couple minutes, stirring frequently. Now in goes 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and stir that in real quick. Cook this for a minute, stirring constantly. Now we're going to slowly, stirring constantly, put in 3 cups of the whipping cream. Should have a nice paste. Now we're going to put in the stock. Give that a real good mix. Make sure nothing's stuck to the bottom. Bring this back up near a boil, about 15 minutes. As soon as it gets piping hot, it's going to start to thicken. I like using a flat bottom spoon just to make sure there's nothing sticking to the bottom. It's starting to thicken up here. It's going to really resemble a pot pie filling. It's going to get that kind of gelatinous look to it. Definitely the same color. Not the same aroma though. Almost there. In the meantime, take all your shrimp and chop them up into nice little spoon-sized bites. 3-4 chunks per shrimp, depending on the size. Take 1 nice handful of shrimp first, chop those up, and as soon as that gets thick, this is going in. All right, nice and thick, it's coating the spoon well. Take that 1 big handful of shrimp. This is just half of it. We're gonna put it in. Ooh, that's hot, hot, hot. And immersion blend everything until it's silky smooth. Finish chopping all the rest of your shrimp, throw it in, kick it down to low for a good 10 to 15 minutes, and we're ready to plate. Give it a quick taste for salt. Nice and thick. Need some more? Bon appetit.